Now, a word about communication content versus communication style, educational content versus educational style, and learning content versus learning style. There are 7 billion of us here on this planet and counting, so there are 7 billion different communication styles. Okay, and as a leader, as a leader of people, you should be aware of this. Okay, and you should practice reverse double standard. That's a term that I coined by myself. Reverse double standard. That is, you step up to the next level and you take the wrong end of the stick for yourself. And what I mean by that in this context, that is, as a leader, you need to understand when you are communicating to other people, when you are trying to explain things to other people, a lot of people take the style over the content. If the style is not to their liking, they reject the content. So you, as the leader, you need to be aware of this. But you, as the leader, who is also a constant learner, so when it comes to you learning, when it comes to you receiving information, you need to be aware that the style the information is delivered to you may or may not be the way that you would prefer it to be. It may not be the style that's most suitable to you or to your liking because, hey, there are 7 billion of us here on this planet. So try to pay attention to the content of the information that you're trying to receive, not so much to the style. I have heard all kinds of excuses from all sorts of people. For example, they read a book and then everyone else says it's a great book with great educational content. We learn so much. But this one individual would say, oh, that book is no good. And I ask them, why do you think that book is no good? Everybody else liked the book. Everybody else learned so much from that book. Why do you hate it so much? And then this person will come back with, oh, I don't like the book because I don't like the way the book was structured. I don't like the way the book was printed using the wrong font. I didn't like the font. Or it's not printed on recycled paper. Or I didn't like the design of the front cover. Or I bought it from Amazon and it was delivered late, or it was delivered partially damaged because UPS partially damaged the book. Therefore, I hate the author, the person who wrote the book. This is how a lot of people think. They come to a live seminar in a hotel seminar room, and then at the end of the day, they would say, oh, the seminar was no good. The education was no good. You ask them, why? Well, I did not like the hotel seminar room. Well, what about the room that you did not like? Well, the flooring was in the wrong color. Or the window curtain should have been closed, or it should have been open, or the lighting was the wrong color, or the coffee didn't taste right to the way I liked it. I didn't like how the coffee tasted. Or they provided paper cup as opposed to china, ceramics. Or they provided china as opposed to paper cups. That's why I don't like it. That's why the seminar was no good. Oh, they did not provide free lunch. Oh, they only gave me half an hour for lunch. Or they only gave me an hour for lunch. I wanted an hour and a half. Therefore, the seminar was no good. The education was no good. Yeah, this is how a lot of people think and act and live their lives. They focus so much on style versus content. And you're still wondering why they stuck in life. They don't develop. They don't advance. They don't get to where they want to go. And they keep on making the same complaints. So as the leader, I'm sure, you hold yourself to a higher level of accountability and you're more mature than that. So you pay attention to the educational content as opposed to the educational style when you are learning. But when you are teaching, when you are coaching your employees, you pay attention to the individual style that's required, that's needed by different employees on your team. So just a word on content versus style. It's rather important when it comes to learning, especially when it comes to learning this kind of higher level thinking that most people don't even think about. They're not even aware that this topic of emotional intelligence, they don't even know that this topic existed. Certainly, they are certainly not aware that emotional intelligence can be and should be utilized for leadership, for management. All right. Now, we cannot talk about emotional intelligence and applying emotional intelligence in the area of leadership, in the area of management, without talking about the common confusion between reality versus wish. So many people are confused about these two concepts. For example, they say things like, the weather should be nice. The weather forecast should be accurate. Lawyers should not weasel. Politicians should not lie. Employees should consider the team's greater benefit before their own personal, individual, selfish interest. And job applicants should not lie on their resume. Job applicants should not lie during a job interview. Is that a reality or is that a wish? We would all wish that applicants never lie on their resumes. We would all like to wish, and applicants never lie during their job interviews. But is that the reality? We would like to wish that buses, trains, and airplanes always run on time. But is that the reality? We would like to wish that lawyers don't weasel and politicians don't lie. That is a wish. But that is not the reality. All right? And we would like to wish that the weather is always perfect to our condition. It only rains once a week and only at night between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. It never rains during the day when we're out there driving, so cars don't need wipers. That is a wish. But is that the reality? No. There are a lot of things that we wish, like the computers should just work. The computers will never malfunction and cause us any problem. What is the reality? The reality is anything can go wrong will. And it will happen at the worst possible time. So we need to draw a distinction between reality versus wish. And so many people are confused about these two concepts, and it gets in the way of their learning of emotional intelligence, and their learning of how to better understand emotional intelligence in their own lives and also in their leadership. The next confusion that quite often gets in the way of people learning emotional intelligence is people confuse stating the fact that something is happening or predicting that something is going to happen. People confuse that with, oh, so you want that to happen. Not the same. Saying the computer is malfunctioning is not to be confused with, I want the computer to malfunction. Predicting the computer will malfunction is not to be confused with my desire for that computer to malfunction. Saying if you keep on eating sugar, you will get diabetes is not to be confused with I want you to get diabetes or I wish diabetes upon you. Quite often saying if you keep on eating sugar, you will get diabetes is because I don't want you to get diabetes. Saying some job applicants lie on their resume and lie during their job interviews is not to be confused that I prefer all job applicants to lie on their resume and during their job interviews. Saying that, pointing that out, that a certain percentage of job applicants will lie, or this particular resume is packed full of lies, or this person we are interviewing, he's lying right now. Saying that is not to be confused with I want them to lie. I prefer them to be liars, or I want all of them to lie, or I believe all of them are liars. Pointing that out is because we need to filter out those who lie. So stating the fact is not to be confused with wanting that thing to happen. Stating it's going to rain, computer will break down, buses, trains, and airplanes might run late. It's not to be confused with wanting the computer to break down, the weather to rain on our parade, or the buses, the trains, or airplanes to run late. Saying some politicians lie, or this politician is lying right now, is not to be confused with I want all politicians to lie, or I prefer politicians to lie. All right? This is such a common confusion when people try to learn emotional intelligence. And this confusion gets in the way of people learning emotional intelligence, learning people skills, learning how to manage people, learning how to communicate, how to deal with people. All right? So just watch out for that confusion that may come up when you're learning emotional intelligence. Another common confusion that gets in the way of people learning, especially in learning emotional intelligence, is people don't understand that tools are moral neutral. All right? Tools are moral neutral. A computer, a knife, and a gun, they can all be used either for good or for evil. It's up to the user who is using the computer, the knife, and the gun to use it for good. And science, engineering, technology or communication techniques can all be used either for good or for evil. The tools themselves are moral neutral. There is no moral value in terms of the tools. Okay, so science helped us to understand that gravity exists. Okay, and Newtonian physics, the Earth is not flat. Okay, the Earth rotates around the sun, not the sun rotates around the Earth. All right, there are 4 seasons. Okay, why there's night and day, and so on and so forth. Those understanding themselves are moral neutral. There is no moral value in good or bad in understanding them. Yeah, sure, trying to understand them, okay, is a good endeavor. But the understanding itself, okay, and then subsequent inventions as a result of those, like a calendar, like physics, like the discovery of the periodic table, the elemental chart, okay, all of those are moral neutral. They can be used for good or they can be used for bad. So is communication techniques. So is understanding human nature. Human nature itself and your understanding of human nature, they are both moral neutral. There's no moral good or bad. It's up to you to use them for good. What's one person's definition of good is not necessarily another person's understanding of good. What's beneficial to one person could be harmful to another person. Okay? So when we talk about the understanding of human nature, the understanding of human emotions, okay, there's no moral to it. Your understanding of human nature, of human emotions, your understanding of it is moral neutral. There's no good, there's no bad. It's like a medicine, okay? A medical doctor who understands physics, chemistry, biology, human physiology, a medical doctor can use those understanding for good, to cure a person. They could also use it for bad, for evil. And there have been crazy scientists, they have done bad things to other people using their understanding of physics, chemistry, biology, human physiology. Okay, their understanding of physics, chemistry, biology, human physiology, they are all accurate. It's accurate understanding. It's a good understanding. It's a solid understanding. The understanding itself is neither good nor bad. It's up to the doctor on how he applies those understanding. Okay, whether he wants to use them for good or for evil. Okay, so let's clear that confusion so they don't get in the way of you learning emotional intelligence and how to apply your understanding of emotional intelligence in leadership, in management, in helping your employees to grow to the next level, to their better capabilities. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So this way, when I release new educational videos, you will be notified and you will be the first to learn. And also, make sure you send this video to as many people as possible so we can all learn and grow together and help each other to grow together. We're in this together. And if you need private coaching, business consulting, or training, feel free to contact me. And my contact details are linked below.